Hello everyone, I'm Jan Clothier of Thinking Stamping and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in New Zealand. Today I'm joining you as part of the July 2024 blog hop for Creativity Abounds, where our theme is Christmas in July. So although I've done a different card for our tutorial bundle, today for our blog hop on the theme, I thought I would share with you a technique which you can use with any set of paper, but I'm bringing it to you today because I was thinking about what we could do to refresh our Christmas supplies and bring out some new and different Christmas cards without spending a fortune on a whole lot of new sets and things. So I thought I would focus on two things. One is this stamp set from the online exclusives, Greetings of the Season, and it is purely a greetings set. So it's got all sorts of mix and match things that you can do. So, you know, you can mix and match wishing you Merry Christmas or wishing you a happy holidays. It's got little options for tags. And anyway, I thought it was a nice little really useful thing that you could apply to lots and lots of Christmas things. And the other thing that I got from the new online exclusives is this set of paper called Season of Green and Gold. Now it is part of a larger suite, but I just bought the paper because I thought it was beautiful. It's got this beautiful gold foil, vanilla and gold foil, and all sorts of beautiful Christmassy greens, old olive and mossy meadow. And if you flip it over, it's got lots of other patterns. And as you can see, these ones are less overtly Christmas, so you could use them for any kind of occasion. And one of my downlines actually thought that some of these, like that and even that, would be beautiful for a wedding card. So although it's a Christmas themed set, it's got applications wider than that. So I thought I would use those two things, the Season of Green and Gold paper and this Greetings of the Season set, to bring you a kind of an inexpensive but refreshed Christmas in July. And so I've used this strip DSP technique to make some cards, and I've added into it a sentiment from Greetings of the Season, and I've mixed and matched it using die sets for labels that I already had. So I've used Unbounded Love, I've used Nested Essentials, I've used Stylish Shapes. So that's something else you could do, you know, with a sentiment set like that. Although there might be dies that go with it, you can look at what you've already got and mix and match with that. Anyway, as I said, this is a very easy technique, and it's one, oops, there's something stuck on my paper there. It's a very easy technique, and you don't have to just, you know, you can use it with any paper you've got. And in fact, it's really great for, you know, all those little strips of paper that you end up with at the end of a packet of paper, and you've got all these long strips that you've cut off. This is the perfect thing for using them up. So here's what we're going to need. Now, I've taken the card base from the colours of the paper, so I've used Mossy Meadow, and this is a standard size card base for me, so it is 21 centimetres, scored at 10.5 and cut at 14.8. And if you're an imperial person, I will put the measurements in my blog post that goes with this video, but it's just a standard size card base. Now, to go in with the green and gold theme, I've got a piece of gold foil, which is 1/2 centimetre, or roughly 1/4 inch smaller. So it's 10 by 14.3 if you're metrics. And then I've got a piece of Very Vanilla, which is 1/2 centimetre smaller again. So it's 9.5 by 13.8. And we're going to use that piece to build up our strip design on. And these other pieces are a piece for the inside. So again, 10 by 14.3. It's for the inside. This is a piece for the sentiment, and it's a generous piece because some of the sentiments are quite big. Like if you choose to use It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year, you'll probably need a piece that big. And it's, I think I cut it 9 by 7. But really that's just a very generous piece. So you could just use a scrap of Very Vanilla for your sentiment. And then you just need strips of DSP. As I said, perfect for the offcuts that you have at the end of a packet. I have been a little bit, well, not exactly wasteful, but I did, you know, gird my loins and slice into those beautiful new pieces. It depends how you organise them, how many you need, but you're probably going to need between 10 and 12 strips of paper, ranged between, you know, 1 centimetre for that and maybe 2 centimetres for that one. It's one of those things, it really doesn't matter. what size they are, but I think probably narrower rather than lots and lots of wides, but you know, that's a matter of personal taste. So just scraps of DSP cut into strips, offcuts are perfect. And then after that, it's just really very, very easy. You just get your piece, that's your building piece, the one that mats inside the gold foil. And I'm going to use my silicone mat because there's lots of gluing about to happen. And this is the fun bit. You really just start gluing. So I'm going to pick a piece that I like the look of, like that. I'm going to apply some glue. Now you don't want so much glue that it oozes out everywhere. And you just start. And I'm just going to go, I'm going to start with a piece that goes across there. Now you can do any pattern you like. You know, you can build it into herringbone, you can build it into a chevron pattern, you can do stripes, you can do just whatever you fancy doing. And you just start mixing and matching. Now, as I said, one thing to watch, not too much glue because you don't want it oozing everywhere. Silicone mat is good so you don't end up gluing it to your work surface. And the other thing is, go for even spacing. So I've got just a couple of millimetres there. Perhaps we'll go one more that way. I want something different, perhaps something a bit green. Yep, that looks nice. I'm not going all the way to the end because I can see that I don't need the whole strip. And when I off-cut, I might be able to reuse some of the ends in smaller places. Okay, so one there. Now I'm not going to worry about that corner now. I'm going to start working down here. And I'm going to go downwards like that. And as I said, you can use any pattern that you want to make. And I am being pretty random here. I haven't really given much thought to exactly where everything's going to go because I know that it's Stampin' Up packet of paper. All of the pieces are going to go together nicely, so I don't need to worry too much about that. I'm just worrying about the spacing. The other thing I'm probably going to worry about is I probably don't want that pattern down here because I just like things to be different. So we'll have a bit of that. Again, aiming for some even spacing. I'm mixing and matching the vanilla-y gold sides with the green, but you know, you just really just do what you think looks nice. I like the look of that one. Perhaps we'll have that one here. I do think it's nice if you've got a variety of widths, but you know, that's something which is a matter of personal choice. And again, because I'm going for a relatively random pattern, if I was probably building up a chevron or a herringbone, I might be a little bit fussier about how wide everything was. What side do we like the look of now? Oh yes, we'll have some of that. It seems almost a shame to cover up that beautiful gold, but that one, that strip it's next to is gold, so we'll just and I think I can fit another one in there. We haven't had that one either, so we'll go for that. Now we're going to have a little bit of a reckoning here. So before I go any further, I know I've got these little corners to do. We'll just have a bit of a tidy up. So what you do next is you simply come along and you just carefully cut off all the bits that are hanging over. And as you can see, that's why I didn't glue the whole piece, because now I've got these other little bits. I can use them on another card or to fill in the very short segments. So that's why you don't want to glue too much more than you absolutely have to. before we attach, I am going to go back and have another, if necessary, tidy up of the cutting. But at the moment, I just want to see where we're going in terms of filling in the little pieces that haven't been done yet. So I need a little tiny piece for that, and I could use that one. Now I need a piece for up here. What will I use? Yeah, that's nice. So we'll have that one. And this is one of the offcuts from further down here. So we'll just sneak that one in there. And we need something little for, what am I looking for? We need something little there and something little there. So I'm just hunting through my little offcuts to see what might go. Now, when they're these little pieces, it's just as easy to actually put a little bit of glue on the card and then lay on the piece. And got to do the same thing just up here. And I think that little bit will do. So, oops. Again, I'm trying to smear it. I don't want it to ooze. And we'll just pop that in there. Give it a press. Okay. So now we can do, whoops, another little snip and tidy. So now I'm going to attach that to the foil layer. Foil and glue do not play, so you can either use tape, or you can get the adrenaline rushing and be brave and use glue. So you'll notice I'm going a gap away from the edge, and I'm being very thin with that glue because I do not want to attach it to that foil and have it ooze, because if it gets onto the foil, that is the end of the foil, because it will lose its shine and look horrible. So you have to be a little bit brave if you're going to glue directly onto foil, but I seem to have got away with it. Okay. Right, and so now we can attach that to the card front. As you can see, this is, as I've said repeatedly, this is a technique that you could use with any offcuts, any pattern. Doesn't have to just be a Christmas card. Okay, so now we've got a nice basis going on. Now, what I did next is I took the greetings of the season and did a sentiment. This one I gold embossed, although I did think perhaps I was getting a little bit too gold on that one, which is why in this one I stamped it with Mossy Meadow, and I used from Unbounded Love. I stamped into that little scallopy edged oval, and then out of gold foil I cut this pretty little frame and attached it on. It's the most wonderful time of the year. I just gold embossed onto vanilla, and I used one of the Nested Essential dies, the largest of that rounded cornered rectangle for that. What I've done for this one is I've actually done some thinking about it already, and so I've done this little frame for it. So on my piece of vanilla I took the Merry and that Christmas, so two separate stamps, stamped it onto Very Vanilla, and I cut it using from Unbounded Love that little dotty edged scallopy rectangle. Now it does have a nice little dotty frame. You can see it on the behind. You see there's a nice little stitched edge which you could have left by itself, but since it was a Christmas card, I then just used that little die there and cut out the gold frame and attached it on the top just to give it a bit of difference. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to choose where I'm going to pop that one. Now on this one I cut a piece of Mossy Meadow and just used it like a ribbon in behind. So you could do that. If you have some nice gold and vanilla ribbon, you could have put a piece of gold and vanilla ribbon around there. I don't actually have any gold and vanilla ribbon, so a bit of an oversight by me, but there it is. So I'm not using a piece of ribbon on that one. I'm just going to dimensional this one straight on. So really, I guess what I'm saying there is how you choose the sentiment that you like, because remember, this is all about how to freshen up your Christmas stash without spending a fortune. So buy yourself a sentiment set, buy yourself some paper, and make some cards like this. But you can play around with the sentiment and do whatever you like, and you can add whatever ribbons and embellishments you have in your stash as well. Does that look central? Not quite. Okay, let's just move it over just a tad. Okay. However, I do think it needs some bling. And so what I'm going to do with bling is I'm going to take my basic rhinestone jewels, and I'm going to take my dark Mossy Meadow blend, and I'm going to colour myself up a large, a medium, and a baby. And then I'm going to attach them. So I think one. Oh, where will I put the other one? 2. And the baby. Can the baby go there? Yep. Nice. Okay, so there's the embellishment. And on the inside, oh, what have I done with my inside piece? There it is. I'm just going to get one of my pieces that I haven't used, one of my strips, and I'm just going to add it in there. Now you could, because we've got all those delicious sentiments, actually I think I'll just do it onto the base, and then I won't have glue where I don't want it. You can add in a sentiment onto the inside as well if you want to. Okay, and give that just a little snip, and no piece is too small to keep, so I'll be keeping that one for another project. And a bit of glue, because I am a glue person, because I like the wiggle room, and we shall pop that in there. Okay, so now we've got 3 of these lovely little strippy pieces, lovely little strippy cards made with the Season of Green and Gold and the Greetings for Every Season set, and both the paper and the sentiment set are in the current batch of online exclusives. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that. Just before I go, I'll show you one other card that I've made with the same technique. So this is one that I made using leftovers from the Winter Meadow, I think it was called Winter Meadow paper. It's a set of paper which was around in the last Christmas catalogue, and is still available in the current catalogue as well. And again, I've used the Greetings of the Season, but in this case, you see I've added in a little swish of ribbon, and I have used the silver glimmer paper instead of the foil. I haven't finished it, so there we go. So there's using the same technique but a different set of paper, and as you can see, gives it a completely different look. Anyway, I hope that's given you some ideas of things that you might be able to do for your Christmas cards this year, even though it is only July. Thanks very much. Bye.